today with our April Junk Journal Inspirations freebie of the month. As you can see, I've gone with a spring theme because it's finally here in Minnesota. It's finally like trying to be spring. And when I say trying, it's because sometimes it takes a long time here. I'm going to silence my phone right now because I actually remembered to do that this time. All right. We're moving in the right direction already. So, if you didn't see my March video for the freebie for the Facebook group Junk Journal Inspirations, I'm an admin there. If you didn't see the March video, every month I do a freebie, a digital freebie, and it includes one collage page. So this time we've got this beautiful mix of kind of vintagey spring looking stuff, flowers, birds, bees, some in the background. There's just some different pieces of ephemera. There's some lovely ladies, little flower fairy, more flowers, butterflies. So you can get this there, as well as then every month there's going to be a page of elements. And so here is the elements page. We've got some like journal card pieces, kind of a border, a tag with some lavender. And then we've got some little fussy cuts, buttons, another little tag here, a couple little pieces of ephemera, and then some fussy cut pieces as well. So every month you get to have a freebie from me, and it's the collage and then the elements. And then I also do a template. So for this first probably year or so that we're doing this, I'm going to try to create templates to help people who are maybe new to junk journaling, or maybe you've been around for a long time. Templates are helpful. The reason I like having templates is last month we did a library pocket in 2 different sizes. This time this is a multi-envelope pocket, or a multi-envelope template, and you can use it in a variety of ways to create 6 unique envelopes with this. I'll show you. You can also make a small one by printing this page to a page, and then you get this. So if you print it to a page, you get this smaller template. And so you can use this to create pieces. And the reason I like having templates is because when you use one, you can select, exactly what part of the page you want to be your envelope. Or maybe you just want it to be made out of like some avocado stained or coffee stained papers, or some regular stained papers, or scrapbook papers. This is a nice way to be able to cut and trace around and make the the shapes that you want, pockets and envelopes and things like that. And tags, we do with tags all the time, right? So this pocket, or this you guys, it's a Monday morning. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this on a Monday morning, but oh well. It's got to be done because it's going to be the end of the month, right? So this template can be used, like I said, to create 6 individual styles of envelopes. And the way that you do that is, now, you can't, if you cut this out, right, you could cut it out all around the edges with this little peak here, and, cut around the rest of it. And you could use it like that and trace it out, but then you wouldn't be able to cut these, you'd have to eyeball these pieces out. So what I've done is, let me grab them right here. I printed it out 6 times and cut it into 6 different shapes. So what you can do is each flap style, so you can use this flap style to create this peak, or you can use this flap style here. If you cut off these parts here, then you can use this to create a tapered flap style, or if you want a full big flap, you can cut all the way around the outside edge and cut that peak off, right? So, and then on the bottom side, you can choose to either have your fold up piece, right, that creates the part of the envelope, can either be squared off, or you can create like kind of a thumb hole or a tapered effect there too. And so that can be done. So for every flap style, there are 3. You can create one with the rounded one and one with the straight one. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So here's what it looks like if you have just the full on squared off flap. Oh my gosh. Right, so you can see that I've cut off that tip. And then I've got one that's got the rounded off part and one that's got the square part. So when I flip them over, you can kind of see the difference in the full thing, right? Whoops. All right, so that's that one. Then I've got the one, oh, I lost one of my little, okay. Then I've got this one where I've done the tapered flap option. So I just cut that shape out. And then I've got one, of course, with the rounded bottom and one with the regular bottom. And then, last but not least, I've got one with the pointy flap, like a traditional envelope kind of, you know, and one with the rounded bottom and one without it. So now I've created 6 templates that I can use out of 6 templates that I can use, but I created them out of this one template. So I really hope this makes sense, what I'm showing you right here. These are going to be awesome to like lay down on your paper and say, you know, you really want this bee to be a feature in the middle of your envelope. You can scoot it over so that it can come, and you can kind of go like this and lift up and see what you're getting underneath, right? Or if you want to make sure you don't cut that girl off, then maybe you use the squared off one and you make sure you get all of her in there, right? And then, like I said, you can do the smaller ones as well, which I have done. I've done a set of the smaller ones as well. So, you know, like if you want that flower to be on there or something. Now you know what you're getting. And after the last video in March, I had a lot of people saying, you know, I've used things like vellum or like see-through file folder paper or different types of acetate. If you use those and make your templates on those, then you can actually like see through it so you can see exactly what you're selecting with your templates. And that's awesome too. That's a great idea. So these are the 2 freebies, and then here's the freebie template for the month, okay? Again, this one I got by printing 2 to a page. On your printer settings, just choose that you want to print 2 to a page. Then I have done the thing where I take the piece of paper, the collage sheet, and I print the template right on the back. So I print this out, and then I feed it through, you know, it comes out and I put it right back down into my printer tray with this pattern side up, because it'll suck it through like this and print out the template on the back. And so you can cut out whatever shape you want to now out of this, and you'll end up with an envelope. So like I said with the last one, when you do it this way, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever it ends up printing out on here. But with collage sheets like this, I don't think that matters so much. It doesn't to me, because you just kind of get what you get, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors and cut this out. I'm going to speed it up so that you don't have to watch. I think I'll use the tapered version, and I think I'll make the rounded off thing because I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. All right. So this is what my envelope looks like from the outside. And now we've got to do the folding. But before we do that, I want to mention that with an envelope, you will see the flap right, when you open it up, and just a little bit of this part here. So with this template, if you do it the way that I just did it, you are going to have some lines here. So what I did is grabbed out a sheet of avocado dyed paper, and I think I'm going to glue this down to at least this part here. Okay, so to the flap and to a little bit here, because that's what you'll see. And that way you don't see the lines, right? Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do is go ahead and, did I forgot to grab my pencil? Hold on, I'm going to go grab a pencil quick. Okay, got a pencil. So I'm going to go up into this corner as much as I can and use this straight line as much as I can, and along there as much as I can. And I'm just going to roughly say where I want the, okay. Because once I put this on, I can trim it down a little. Okay, I'm going to save that because we'll back at some other things with it. So yeah, okay. So now I'm just going to put some glue. It's been a minute, you guys, since I used my glue. I've been doing some digital design. I hadn't been feeling very well for a little while. I had some things. I had a cold that just took off into a way, way worse cold. And then I got norovirus. Like the day I started feeling kind of better from the cold, norovirus. And if you don't know what norovirus is, it is not pretty. And then after that, we had a big ministry event at our church, which is awesome. It was the very first one that we'd done. My girls have been doing it at our church in the Twin Cities when we lived down there. And now we started doing it up here. But it was the first one, and so there was a lot of planning and, you know, execution to go into it. Which again was fine. Just busyness. Okay. That like is just not laying on there quite so straight. I hate doing that, but sometimes it has to be done, right? There, that's better. Okay, so I'm gonna push that down, and then I'm gonna trim around the top part, and then we won't see my lines. I didn't want to add too much bulk to these parts because then, you know, the envelope could get too bulky, and I didn't want that either. So now we'll just trim that excess paper off. It's been so fun seeing all the pictures of people using the templates and the kit from last time. So fun. So now I'm super excited to see what you guys dream up this time. Okay, now let's fold this sucker up, glue it up, and then get to decorating, because that's the fun part, right? So for the envelope, the flaps go in, the side flaps go in first. Let me grab my bone folder so we can give it a nice little fold. Nice little fold. And then this flap, my hair is falling out. Then we fold this up. So now you've got these two little pieces right here of the side flap that stick up beyond the envelope. That is mostly because to facilitate, you know, paper sliding down in there. If it stops right here, you tend to, because we're gluing, you know, this is us making this. This isn't industrial strength, you know, so you want it so that the paper slides through these things kind of as the side rail rather than getting hung up on this part. Okay, so you can choose to trim those back if you want to, but I'm just going to leave them like that. And then the top flap, you can choose to fold it down all the way to the tops of these two things, or you can go up a little bit, give it some space and fold it over. That's kind of up to you. It's your design decision. I like to just kind of look at it and see where the fold is right here, where it starts to curve, right at that little point there, right at this little point. That's kind of where I like to try and line that up with the top of this bottom flap. That's my eyeball for this. And then I'm going to fold it. Give it a good burnish. There we go. And for some reason, you know what, when I don't, when I don't use rulers or anything, that's what I do. I end up like making a mess out of things. All right, so there's our little envelope. Now we need to glue the sides shut, and that's it. Now remember not to glue all the way up because the flap doesn't cover all the way up. I tried to make it so that if you print it out, you know, here in the US, our paper is letter size, so 8.5 by 11. I think A4 is very similar. I tried to make it so that if you're using it in a standard journal, it would be folded up. It would be just slightly under 5.5 inches wide, so you could use it as a pocket, so it would fit either this way or, you know, over the edge of a book or however you wanted to use it, sewn into a signature. So there we go. We have our cute little envelope. So if you just print it on the outside or on the flip side, this is what you would get is you'd get some of this little girl, flower girl. You get the daisy and some of this stuff here, right? And then of course you can zhuzh it up and decorate it however you want to. Ink it and all that sort of stuff. So I have got my book that I created last month, my Seasons and Ideas book. And if you will remember, this is where we did our March spread. So each month I'm going to do us to spread, right? We're using the free kits. And then I'm also using it to store my templates in. So these are my templates from last month. And we made library pockets and a small library pocket and some little tickets and things, right? So that's my March spread. Now I've got these next 4 pages here. So this one's got a pocket and this one's got a pocket. And then I've got this page in the middle. These we're going to use to be our pages for April. So I think I grabbed out some Glimmer Mist, and I thought since we're doing this, you know, pink or this, you know, very springy thing, I thought I would spray the middle pages here. So I brought a couple of pieces of cardstock that I don't use much of, these bright green, right? Because goodness, that's very bright. So Glimmer Mist, if you don't know, has mica in it. It has a very, very fine like shimmer glitter in there. So you have to shake it up first. Otherwise it'll get stuck. So I'm trying to, there we go like this. I'm just going to give it a little spritz. And it usually dries pretty quick. Pretty. Okay. Then let's do the other side. And it'll come through to this side of the paper. It just won't have like the shimmer on this side. It'll just have the splotchiness. The shimmer will be on this side. So then let's go. Let's see. Let's do it this way again so I get the shimmer on the same back sides. that's a finer mist that time. All right. Fan it, fan it, fan it. Dry it, dry it, dry it. Should we do the backs of these two? Yeah, why not? Why not? Since we got it out, I'm going to back my... There we go. And we'll do the back side of this one too. Why not? We'll set off our April spread with some pretty pinks mist. Okay. There we go. We'll put those aside. So we've got our first, and like I put here, I put March. So I think I'm going to put April right on this pocket. So I don't know that I'm going to put much there. But now that it's drying up, can you see it's lightening up too? I don't know how well that's going to pick up on camera. And you're certainly not going to see the shimmer on camera because it's such a mild shimmer. Anyway, so let's go. I have got, oopsie doodles. I've went ahead and fussy cut everything. And then I made 2 envelopes. I printed on the back and I cut them out. So I'm going to, and then I've got my tag for sure that I want to back. And I probably want to back these 2, but I think we'll do that something a little different with those. So with these, I'm going to use my paper here, and I've got another one over there, and I'm going to go ahead and back these, and you speed this up because you guys don't need to watch me do this, and I'll be right back. So this hole is a little bigger than my regular hole punch. So I've got the tag backed, so it's a little thicker. And then I've made up my little envelopes. Aren't they so cute? So cute. This one gets the bee right on it. This one gets the daisy. So I'm noticing though I need it to go up a little higher on this flap. So now I'm just gonna start, you know, people have been using the Freebie in all kinds of awesome ways to create like loaded pockets and full journal spreads, kind of like what I'm trying to do, or, you know, just different things. A 1-page journal spread with just all the elements. So we're going to just go ahead and work in my book and see what we can do. Sound good? I'm going to back up the camera. Hold on. A little bit there. So now we have a bigger view, huh? Before the camera wasn't even fully in view. Okay, so I've got all my elements. I did go through and fussy cut all my elements. And then I also made myself, whoops, a couple extra pages of collage. I printed out a couple of extra pages. So let's look at all these little guys. There. I think I want to use one of those as like a belly band. Then I've got my little buttons of birds, the little fairy ladies. And then I grabbed a few things out too, kind of in anticipation. So let's set all those smaller things aside because I kind of wanted to turn these into maybe journal cards or something. Plus I wanted to have things to go inside of the envelopes. So I grabbed this little 6x6 paper pad that I have and thought, because it kind of is springy, so some of the things would go well. So I thought we could use some of that as like that. That's really cute, isn't it? To back some of these. So let's look for one that actually has something that we could kind of write on back though. Here, this one does. This page looks like we could actually write on the, you know, like we could actually write on the back of it too. And then I need my ink. I got my new dauber things. This is obviously the first time I'm ever inking this one. These are from scrapbook.com. We'll see how these work, huh? Well, that picked up that ink really well. Jamie, you'll see, this is my friend Jamie has been recommending that I get these. And apparently they don't shred as fast or as easily as the other ones do, the ones that we get from Ranger. So hopefully, because, you know, I feel like I go through those things. Yeah, I kind of like how that looks. And this is like cardstock, so it's going to make it a little more sturdy as well. And I am eyeballing. Because this can't take all day, right? We can't have an all-day video. I don't think that would even fly. So let's glue her down. Whoa. And throw her on the paper so that I get glue everywhere. That's pretty much what I just did. Glue everywhere. And like, this isn't even close to a straight line right here. There we go. Then let's ink the edge of that a little bit. Yeah, this dauber thing works really good, actually. It didn't seem to hold as much ink before, but you know what? I wonder if that's just because it's a brand new one. I bet, like, because the old ones, you know, the Ranger ones, I can use, they hold like ink for a little bit, so it feels like I can use them a couple times. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the other postcard and speed that up. I'll be right back. The only thing about these is that because they're so rounded like this, I can't stand my thing up on top, so they're just all laying around. But, you know, sacrifice is made. That's fine. I'm going to do around the edge of these little too. So now I got to decide, do I want to like glue these on the envelopes onto pages, or do I want to tuck them inside things? What am I going to do? I don't know. I do know, though, that everything looks better with ink in my world. I'm going to challenge myself very soon to do a project with no inking. And I have bought some supplies. I found this paper pad. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that I'm going to do where I challenge myself to do all kinds of things that are stepping outside my comfort zone. Okay, so we've got those made up. We've got those made up, and we've got all our little bits and pieces. Let's go to our book. So I like the idea of this as a belly band. So, and we could maybe hold... one of our envelopes could slip in over the top of it, huh? That could hold one of our, it's kind of thick though, and it doesn't want to stay down. It could hold our tag too. Although our tag could go in the we could stick our bigger envelope behind it, like so. Yeah, let's do that. But before we do that, should we use some of the page to collage? I think so. So I like to, you know, the collage page like this, you can use it in lots of ways. One of the things that I like to do is tear little pieces out and kind of use them in the backgrounds. And I don't want these white edges on there. So we're going to pop some of this down on there just as a way to layer up a background before we put that belly band on, I think. Yeah, and maybe a little book page, because book pages. So if you guys don't know, if this is all new to you all of a sudden and you're going, how do I get this freebie? Well, I tell you what, you go over to Junk Journal Inspirations Facebook group, which you can find that by the link that I have posted below. Yeah, let's do this first. Right down in the description box, go look down there. You will see a link to the Facebook group. If you go over there, make sure that you answer all, if you're not a member, you have to request membership, and you have to answer all 3 questions. Make sure you answer all 3 questions, agree to the rules, that sort of stuff, in order to get into the group. And then if you are, once you are in the group, there will be a post, an easy to find post that will have all of the freebies linked right in it, but they will also be forever hanging out in the files section. Oops, that's going over the edge of the page just a bit, and it's fixed. So they'll be hanging out in that files section, so you can find them there, and then you can take them and print them and resize them and whatever you want to do for your own use. I do ask that these are my copyright, so I do ask that you don't, you know, print and sell them. You can definitely use them in a book that you're going to sell, as long as you've altered them. You know, you're not just putting them in as like something that they can use. You know what I mean? All right. There, now we have some background going. I like how that looks peeking out there. That just gives us a little extra zhuzhing before we put this belly band on. And I'm going to glue this side of the belly band down first. And then I'm going to decide over here, I think I'm going to fold it over just slightly as like a page tab. So I'm just taking the extra of that, and I'm going to give it just a little bit of glue along the edge here. And press that down, and then I'm going to give it some glue on this back flap here. And it's going to turn into like a little mini tab. That'll be fun. Since it was too long for my page side to side, this is a cool way to use it. So now we have a little tab there, and we have a belly band. Awesome. And we can tuck our large envelope behind it, but I don't want to do that until, I don't want to leave it there until this is dry. But I like that page so far. Now let's look at this page. Now the other thing that I kind of want to do is I think that I'm going to take my templates from last month, and I am going to create a large library pocket out of some of this. So again, you don't have to watch me do this because we did it in the last one. So I'm going to whiz through and do this really quick, and then I'll be back. Now I have created myself this lovely little library pocket, and we did that with the template from last month. So you can see how that works so awesome. And I think to mimic the book page on this side, I'm going to put some book page over here and then glue this down. And I think like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like how this is looking so far. Last month I used these to create tuck spots and stuff. You can do all kinds of things with this template pocket, the library pocket template. All right, so here is our, I didn't link this one. Here's our large envelope, which is gonna go behind that belly band. All right. It's gonna go there. That looks cute because the little girl's just hanging out there. And what do I want to, we're gonna have to create maybe out of some of this paper or something, a card to go in there, but that is not imperative at the moment. We've still got more pages to do. So I kind of want to try with one of the copies of the collage page. I kind of want to try making like a full page, or not a full page, but maybe like a half page, like slide in pocket, tuck spot kind of thing, majigger. In order to do that, and I don't want the white edges on there, so I'm going to take those off. This is, I did print all of my stuff onto white. This is bright white color copy by Hammermill. Sometimes I use ivory cardstock. Well, a lot of times I use ivory cardstock for my projects to print my, especially like my ephemera pieces on and stuff. So, but I didn't do that this time. I'm going to mark here I want to cut. And then, let's see. Do I want to just kind of rip it? Am I going to eyeball it? Yup. I'm sorry if this totally is like killing your soul, somebody who doesn't like the whole eyeballing thing. But when I'm doing this, I don't have a whole lot of time. So I just kind of eyeball. But that worked. Surprisingly, can cut a straight line sometimes. And then I think I want to just tear along here-ish. Now, luckily, I'm kind of going with the grain of the paper right now, which is good, because otherwise this would be a whole different story. Yeah, so I want to create that pocket like that. I'm going to give that a little bit of an ink. Just along that edge. And I'm down here because I didn't obviously cut that white border off very well. And I can still see parts of the white. Okay, so I'm going to put this on as a pocket, like a long tuck spot here. But before I glue anything down, I want to like make out my plan, right? Then over on this side, what do I want to do? I've got my little envelopes and I'm kind of tempted to just glue them on like this, right? That would be kind of cute. And maybe just some book page behind it. But I feel like they're going to need some sort of closure to stay closed because now I've bulked them up with that avocado stain paper behind them. So did I have more book page or do I need to grab another page of it? I hope you guys are all doing real good. I don't know if it is like spring where all of you are. Should I put a whole page on there? It's kind of cute. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll, well, no, because I just, what was the, well, I was going to say, what was the point of spraying pink? But you can see the pink on the other side. That was part of the point of making the pink. I just like how, I'm liking how the background of this is really kind of the same color as the book page. So, like I was saying, I don't know if it's spring everywhere. I know it's not spring everywhere because there are other sides of the globe that do the seasons differently, and other sides of other hemispheres that do the seasons differently than we do here. But here in Minnesota specifically, it's trying, like I said, it's trying to be spring. We got all our deck furniture out. You know, I put our table and chairs and we got a swing for our deck and our grill. Well, our grill stays out all year because I like to grill. Even in the winter, I grill. But we put it all out and put our rocking chairs out on the porch and our tables and all the things. And then it snowed again because Minnesota. That's how we roll. It snows. Yeah, that's just how we roll. Okay. Yep, I like that. Okay, I'm going to glue this down because I like this too. So we looked at our, you know, swing and our umbrella and everything with snow. But again, as in Minnesota, true Minnesota spring style, the snow was beautiful on the trees and it made, you know, all of our whole super brown world, you know, everything is brown and crunchy because the snow melted and everything gets brown and crunchy until it all starts blooming and greening up. So it's been brown and crunchy. Well, all of a sudden the snow made everything look beautiful and white for like 3 whole hours. And then that started melting. It just turned into a big muddy mess. And now we're back to brown and crunchy because that all melted. And yesterday it was like 30. Today it's going to be 64 and sunny, but super windy, really gusty. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be back down into the 30s. So that's how we roll. We can enjoy our patio furniture for one day until all of a sudden it turns into, I was going to go cockeyed with them, but I don't know. Should I? Or straight? I'm just going to go straight. I'm just going to do it straight, guys. And I'm going to turn them into pockets just in case. What if I want to put something behind them? I don't know. I might. But I'm going to create the option to do that by not gluing them straight down, but by creating them into pockets. The nice part about having this book page is I can use a line of text to line up the bottom of my envelope and make it nice and straight. So as I'm looking out my window today, it's bright and sunny. Well, you can probably see, right, the natural light coming through. But in addition to it being bright and sunny, the trees are just really moving. We've got some really big trees out there, big old trees, tall trees. and they are really moving. Okay. Try to line it up with the other one as best I can. Okay, so they're both pockets too, so they could have things in them, right? And we can definitely put something inside them. And then this is a pocket over here in which, you know, we can stick these things for now. Those two little cards. And we've got these 2 pages. I think I'm going to use the pockets on the ends to put my templates in, since I created like 1,000 templates by making the big ones and the small ones. Look at how cute this is looking so far, guys. Okay, we've got these 2, and I don't have a ton of time, so okay, gotta do this. We haven't used any of my small elements, so let's use some of those. Let's look at some of these. We've got this adorable little girl and a couple butterflies and some buttons. I think on this page we'll just make some elements, huh? We'll make some little scenery. We've got a bird, some more buttons. Let's see. Buttons, buttons. Maybe we'll just line all the buttons up. Put a flower and the flower girl. Butterfly. Butterfly. Bird. Something like that, right? I'm going to just really, I mean, these are fussy cuts, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of definition around the edge. I do like the flower in that corner, so, but you know, I feel like it needs something behind it. It can't just, right? So, book page, it's a theme. Whoa, and I just like ripped the heck out of that one. So maybe that was meant to be. Maybe it's meant to be just like that. What does Bob Ross say? Only happy accidents, right? We had, so like I was saying, we had this big, so we had 14 girls, ages 4 to 12, at this big ministry event called Little Ladies of Grace. And it was so fun. But I tell you what, that many little girls takes a lot of energy. And yeah, that looks way better. There's like some dimension. And we made a big craft project. And it was like multiple steps. And we took running around, you know, screaming, playing game breaks in between things. The big girls, they could keep crafting, but the little girls need breaks. So part of the program, part of the idea behind this is to have those older girls mentor the younger ones, you know, help them along, and, you know, not just be so consumed by our own selves, but to try and mentor and help the younger generation and be positive, good role models. So that's part of the deal. But they still, you know, those little girls still need breaks. Anyway, so we were crafting, and one part of it was painting this little, we made these little plaques, wall hangings, I guess is a better word for it. And the background was some like big, fat, humongous, I've never seen craft sticks this big before. And they were like in the shape of kind of a picket fence. I'll rip that down a little. And they got to paint them. Well, some girls decided that they would paint every single slat of the little fence a different color. And so then some of them decided that they were going to put a different pattern on top of every color. And so one girl was doing it, and she messed up somehow what, the vision she had in her head for this very intricate thing that she was going to do to this background. And I'm like, we don't have all day. You gotta, and so she was getting a little bent out of shape. And I said, there's no accidents in art. There's only happy accidents. There's no mistakes in art. And I said, that's what Bob Ross says. And she just looked at me and said, who is Bob Ross? And I was like, girlfriend, you got to go look him up. He's the happiest painter on the planet and the most mellow, chillest person, with a magnificent afro. Bob Ross. Gotta love him. Unintentional. He was cool. He was doing ASMR before ASMR was even a thing. Before it was even cool. Okay, there. I like that better. I like having the, okay. I'm going to ink around these other things and I'll be right back. Spread you saw, I just fast forwarded through that because I was trying to decide how I wanted to do things. I put a little book page up there to kind of tie in the theme from the spread here. So we've got book page, book page, book page, some book page there, right? And I like that. I like how that turned out. Now we still have a couple little things that we can use, and I thought we could use them to decorate the bottom here because this is going to be, I'm going to put my templates in these pockets. So this is the last page of my spread for this month, and I think I will put some book page along here. Yeah, I like that. Let's zhuzh this up. I've got a second set of these as well, and I thought I could use some of the ones that I didn't fussy cut. The one that I was just showing you at the beginning. If I wanted to, I could cut that apart too. And I might do off camera to put it on to make some of these be like journal cards in those little pockets. But I could also be gluing this on as a pocket, but I'm not. I'm just putting glue everywhere. So no pocket here. But that dresses up the front of that pocket really well. That's really cute. Then on the other one, I was going to write March down here, but I can still write March. I've got this bird and this rose, and I could put a little book page behind it and still write March. Or I could write March across the top too, I suppose. Getting serious. Had to readjust my chair. Crunch time. Over on our Facebook group right now, if you're watching this, somewhat real time, so in March or April of 2021, we have a challenge going on over there too. Emily, my co-adminer, has put a challenge forth, and it's kind of a fun one, using 5 things. So if you are considering being a member of the group, maybe I just do, yeah, let's do that, because then we'll find another place for that, or I'll turn it into a card. So if you're going to be a member of the group, or if you already are, go make sure that you check out the event. And at the end of it, everybody who enters, it's a separate thing. So you have to, if you're in the Facebook group, you have to find the event that's under the events tab, and go there and post your pictures of what you make. And there's a video. Emily's got a video showing, outlining the challenge for you and everything. And I'm gonna sketch in. Oh my gosh, I was just writing March again, and I was like, why doesn't that feel right? So she's got a video over there, so you can go check that out. And at the end, like I was saying, your name will be entered into a drawing, and you could win one of my digital kits. So I'm just doing that really lightly in pencil. I'll go over it with a black marker later on. Okay, we've still got our tag, which actually can go right in there. That's lovely. And, where do we put our bird? Actually, that kind of looks nice. Should we put some book page behind it, guys? There's none on this page yet. So I feel like, carry the theme through in all the ways. Yeah. That ripped edge on that ripped edge looks really nice. So yeah, go join the challenge. It's kind of fun. It's a fun way to get you out of your head. This right here, what I'm doing right here, is a fun way to get yourself out of your head too. Because you just use a set of stuff that matches kind of already, right? So this little kit, the freebies for April, they already are matchy-matchy. So if you are stuck, this is a good way to do without having to overthink. If you don't like collage, some of it's already done for you. This is a good way to, again, use a bunch of matchy things to kind of just get you going on the collage train. Ow, I just poked myself real hard with that. That's the problem with using a pin as your glue stopper, right? Ouch. Yeah, it hurt. Okay. So I am really liking how, oops, I almost glued those two together. I'm really liking how this turned out. Let's get my templates. Oh, my big templates aren't going to fit because of the flaps. Duh. I can fit the bottom in here, but the middle ones aren't going to fit. So those templates aren't going to fit. Let's just put some of these in each one, which is fine because that would have been really a hunk of stuff in there anyway. So we'll put my April templates back here. And I will find a different place for those, the big ones. And then I will probably just use a piece of some of this to make a card to go in here. Let's see. I like this one. It says happiness. That's pretty. That's a good thought. So I'm going to go like this. And what I'm doing is just giving it some ease on both sides. And then I'm going to trace a very easy line. And that should fit then inside of our envelope. And you can see the happiness. Oh, that's super cute. Okay, so now there's something in that envelope, which is nice. Now, these little guys need cards in them. That's a little too skinny. It'll get lost back in there. So let's find another one. Let's do one of these ones with flowers on the back. Now I'm going to get one of my templates here, because these are already folded, so I can't really trace with those. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to give myself, again, a little ease here. Now I've got to imagine that line's there and that line's there. I'm going to give myself a little ease, and then I'm going to give myself a little notch there and a little notch right in there. Did I actually get it there? Oh, I can't see because of the design. Okay. And if it fits, I will use it to cut the other one. Oh, it's just slightly long. Yep, but it fits. So let's do the other one down here where it says a real beauty. I can't wait to see what you all do with these freebies. If you use them and you are so inclined to post a picture, definitely post a picture to our Facebook group, because it's so fun to see each other's work. I mean, like I said, I've said it a bunch of times and I'll say it again here. I get inspired by stuff on there every day. There we go. There's a little something in that one. There are just so many people doing some beautiful, beautiful work over there. So I highly suggest, even if you're just feeling stumped at some point and you really want to try, you know, doing something new, or there's a lot of people asking good questions over there and getting good answers from people who, you know about what it is that you're asking. Okay, guys, I really like how this just turned out. So let's check it out. Here's the front, and it needs something in there. So I'll make something to go in there. Maybe I'll make up another one of these tags or something. So that'll go, because, you know, putting the thing in there didn't work. Let's do this quick. I'm going to do this. Hold on. Are complete. So this is now my April 2021. We've got our pocket. I'll probably put a little piece of ribbon on there. And oh, you know what? I've got this. This is this sweet ribbon that I used, and it doesn't quite matchy, but I'm going to use it because this is what we had our name tags made out of at the Little Ladies event. And it'll remind me of that. So we'll just stick some of that through. I might, you know what, I might take it off and vintage it up by putting some vintage photo inking over it with that. But yeah, that'll remind me of it. Okay, and we've got our belly bands, and we've got our envelopes here, and pocket here. And we've got our spread with all our little fussy cuts here, and our pocket with our smaller templates, but not our big ones because, yeah, they're not going to fit. So I'll find a different place for those. So there you go, guys. That is the April spread. Thank you so much. This is, look at, this is already starting to get a little alligator-y mouth, and it's got, you know, we've got 2 months. We still have 10 months to go. Wow, this is going to be a chunky monkey. I'm going to need a tie. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Go head over to the Facebook group, and if you're not a member, be a member, because you know what? It's fun. And like I said, great inspiration and monthly freebies and templates, answers for questions, all that kind of good stuff. It's a non-promotional group, so it's really just about the art and about the crafting. And that's what I really love about it. It's really just about doing the crafting stuff. And if you're not a subscriber here, then why not? Why not just subscribe and hang out with me? because then you'll get notifications on next month's freebie and all the other fun videos that I do. Until I see you guys next time, thanks for hanging out with me. Have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or middle of the night, whatever time it is on whatever side of this planet of ours that you live on. And until I see you, stay safe and healthy, be crafty, go outside, take a breath of fresh air, enjoy your day, and take care, guys, and God bless. Bye-bye.